Today we are glad to host our guest, Dr. Judy Njoki from Murang'a County. So welcome to the program.
Thank you.
And Judy is an academia. She's a lecturer at Embu University, and she also serves in several boards, and especially in Murang'a County. She's a community leader and an upcoming politician. Sure. So Judy, karibu sana to the show, and kindly tell us more about yourself and your vision, the vision that you have. I have gone through your Facebook pages and your Twitter, and I can see everyone is calling you Mama Kiharu. So you will tell us more about that?
I will.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Catherine. I'm happy to be here. And my name is Dr. Judy Makira. I come from a village in Murang'a, a village called Kahithe in Kiharu, Murang'a. That's where I was born and brought up. I'm also, like you said, an academia. I teach at the University of Embu. I am a researcher. I'm also a member and actually the vice chair of Murang'a Municipal Board. And I serve in many other boards, school boards, church boards. And I happen also to be the founder of Center for Women Empowerment in Technology. Okay. This is an NGO that is Kenyan-based.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I've seen that you've been doing a lot of work around girl-child mentorship and empowerment of women. What actually drove you to that direction? And please tell us more about the projects you're doing for women in technology.
Thank you so much. I want to begin by saying that I am very passionate about women empowerment and girls empowerment. And I have done a lot of activities surrounding this. For instance, we have been going through schools and donating sanitary pads. Our goal is to make sure that girls are comfortable in school. We have done baseline study and realized that girls are going through many issues, and some of them are coming up from having no one to take care of their basic needs. And one of the basic needs is sanitary pads. So we've been going around schools, giving them sanitary pads, mentoring them, talking to them, and especially this time of the COVID, when our girls were out for like 1 year. We were very busy talking to them and ensuring that they keep focus. So girls' mentorship is in my heart. We have also been providing something that we call the Dignity Kit. This is a kit that has all the items a girl would need. And as we do that, we don't leave the boys behind. We ensure that the boys are also voices of the girls. So our programs look at not only for the girls, but also the boys.
Okay.
Thank you. And this also will touch on women. So I'm passionate about women empowerment. I am currently in a program sponsored by the Swedish International Training Program. It's Leadership in Local Governance. And in this program, we are being trained on how to do various programs on the ground. For instance, the project we are doing is empowering women economically. So we want to make sure that women are empowered economically, because economic empowerment is the basic of everything.
True.
And through this, we shall now have leaders and politicians in women. Thank you.
Nice. So, Daktari, you mentioned that you're in the water board, the Murang'a
Municipal Board.
Municipal Water Board.
Municipal Board.
Municipal Board.
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to ask you a question. This a conversation that is going on in Murang'a. I think it's between Murang'a County and Nairobi County.
Yes.
About water harvesting from Murang'a that ends up in Nairobi. And I saw a lot of, I don't want to call them disagreement, but I think it's a conversation that started. Where are we with that conversation?
Okay. The conversation was there. like you say, there was a lot of issues surrounding it because of the general feeling that the water from Murang'a is feeding Nairobians, and therefore we are expecting also that we get returns for the same. The return can be in many forms. It can be financial, it can be opportunities, but we were in support of our governor that the water that comes to Nairobi should finally, not in any specific way, but the Murang'a people should gain some fruits from it in whichever way.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Right. There has been tremendous, since we promulgated our constitution in 2010, we've actually seen an increase in the number of women who occupy political leadership.
Yes.
How has that impacted? And I'm talking about this because I have seen Murang'a has a couple of women who's come up very strongly during this time for the last 10 years. How has that impacted on the lives of the common mwananchi in Murang'a?
Thank you, Catherine. I agree with you that we have seen changes in terms of women in politics and leadership. And this has really been a wake-up call for women. It is actually because of that even as the upcoming politicians, we are able to borrow from that and say, if these women have made it, we shall make it. And another thing we have noted is that people are gaining confidence in women leadership. It is not like the past, when anytime a woman would stand up and claim a seat or start fighting for a seat, there will be so much backlash. So these days, people are gaining confidence in women leadership. And we are believing that we are not yet there, but we are headed there.
We are headed there.
We are headed there.
Yeah.
A point where women will entirely gain the confidence of everyone in terms of leadership. But so far, so good. And I also agree with you that when women are in power, there's some confidence that comes in the people. And this is a confidence we are riding on even now, and it's the one we want to even build on more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who is this woman from Murang'a that really you look up to?
There are quite a number of them.
Okay.
But Murang'a is proud to have women leaders like Sabina.
Yeah.
We have 2 members of parliament. We have MCAs who are women. And all those women have shown us that the battle is not easy, but we can fight it out. I also like Sabina. She's County Maito, and she has also been fighting out with men. And there are so many others that she has even mentored. And we believe that more women will come up. Yes.
That is nice. You know, we are getting to a place where we also appreciate each other as women, and it is actually a very good thing. And to even draw courage and to even get mentored by the ones who have come before us. So, Daktari, what are these 5 things that you would want to change in Murang'a, or the key development issues or areas that you'd like to really push when you become a leader? And you're already a leader. I've seen you're doing quite a lot even before you're elected or even before you occupy a political office.
Thank you for that very good question. There are a number of issues that will basically even form part of my agenda as I plunge into politics. The first one is economic empowerment. There was a time that we were doing quite well in economic empowerment that is driven by coffee, tea, and other crops. But something has gone down, and if I get into politics, into leadership, full leadership, that is one of the areas I would wish to have revived. The economy driven by our agriculture. Murang'a is agricultural.
Yeah.
And we have very fertile land. So I would want to dwell on that and ensure that we are getting the best from our agricultural context. The second thing is about sports. I'm very passionate about sports. I've actually been going round and reviving sports and football.
Yeah.
I am sponsoring quite a number of football clubs as we talk. And I have realized that our young people are very passionate about sports. It is raising a lot of excitement as we do it.
Okay.
And therefore, sports is another area. We also have this issue of alcoholism. In my place, there's a lot of men are just drinking. Mm-hmm. We are not sure whether it's hopelessness or whatever, but that is another issue I would want to work on. A situation where we reduce on alcohol and substance consumption. So, and I'm using the forum of sports also to mentor people and to get people away from substance abuse. And so far, when you keep, people busy, they keep away from the substance. There's an issue of education. As an educator, I'm very passionate. So far, as we talk, I have started some technology centers in some places in Kiharu. In fact, on 11th June, I have a major book harvest and launch of a technology center in Kahide Primary School. We want that to be a pilot. After that, we want to create technology access to schools, primary schools in Kiharu and at large Muranga. The motivation behind this, during the COVID period, we realized that unlike in the urban areas where children had access to education, the rural child, especially in Muranga, could not access any form of education. And this gave us the drive to start up some technology centers. Already we are partnering with very good groups who have promised that they will boost these technology centers where every child in the village can also access technology. They know how to use the other kababe phones, but give them another gadget like a laptop, they do not know.
They do not
so
know.
We want to dwell on that. So we are encouraging the use of technology and access to education through technology, and also the reading culture through having libraries in the school. So those 4 areas are the major. And of course, we've been lobbying for the government to provide free sanitary pads. I've been in the limelight for that. My organization has been doing that. And so far, major steps are on the way. So we hope that very soon, every girl child in primary school, we could start with one class, like class 8. They get sanitary pads. And this keeps them in school. Catherine, I want to tell you that girls keep away from school because of lack of sanitary pads.
Yeah.
And therefore, we will also lobby for some law that really propel the girl child in terms of sanitary pads.
To remain in school.
Thank you.
Okay. So, clearly when women get into politics and to this kind of a journey that you have embarked on, they learn a lot of things, especially from their interactions with the community at the grassroots. What are some of the things that you have learned yourself, and what would you advise the upcoming politicians, especially the women who have not gotten to where you have gotten?
Thank you. And you're quite right. The crowd is very hostile towards women. Already, as I talk, we've had a lot of backlashing, a lot of comments. You see in a group when there is somebody comment, so and so is a woman coming up in power.
Yeah.
You hear them saying, just a woman, there is no competition. So it's a long journey. And also, the worst part could even be lack of support from fellow women. But we are hoping to change this. We are on the ground, and we want to ensure that women rise against all these, against all these obstacles. The obstacles are many, and that's why I want to say that very few women attempt, to come into politics. And when they do, they are so bashed until they want to give up. But we want to change this narrative. People already know that what a man can do, a woman can do it, and even better. And we want to ensure the community and even the country at large that this time round, women are ready. We are ready to come up, and we are going to stand up against all these obstacles, and we are not going to relent. In fact, like I said, the program we are doing that is sponsored by the Swedish government, the ICLD, is basically on ensuring that women rise up in Murang'a, for instance, we have out of the 35 MCAs, previously we had only 2 women who were elected. The others were nominated. Right now we have 3. There's one other one. Yes, there's one elected. So this is a kind of narrative we want to change and ensure people that women are capable. Thank you.
Okay. There's a conversation that started some time back. Yes. And I think for a very long time we have been saying that there's a glaring gap between the number of men and women in leadership position. And that is why, we came up with the 2/3 gender rule. We seem to be achieving that, but we are not yet there. What would be your advice, and what do you think as a woman leader should be done to achieve the 2/3 gender rule?
Okay, thank you. I agree that we are not yet there. And one of the reasons we are not yet there is lack of information. So I would suggest that we do a lot of capacity building on women, on people, the community. And by the way, when you talk about women issues, we never get men out of it because they are the drivers. But we are saying that for women to prosper in politics and leadership, we need the women themselves, and then we need the men to have the faith in women. So we need a lot of capacity building. And I want to cite another example. This 2/3 covers even areas like procurement, like even leadership in any capacity, not just
the
politics.
Boards, like
the
where
boards.
You serve. Yeah.
Yes, the boards, you see. But people are not aware. And because of that, they do not come out even to fight. So capacity building on the women to come out and really show what they can. And also on the men so that they can support. And finally, the community at large. The community need to be advised and, trained and educated. So I would encourage a situation where we have a lot of civic education, a lot of capacity building. This would help.
Yeah, recently, in this country, we have seen a push by the, I would say, by the executive, and the president shook hands with the former prime minister, and they brought forward a document that was read and in some areas wasn't read or understood. What is your take on the most recent ruling by the court on BBI?
Thank you. My view is that maybe we should, first of all, let people really understand. I think people are reacting on an uninformed perspective. People get the feeling that one line, the BBI is like this and this. And then people believe. But those people, for instance, who are out there and they are fighting either for and against BBI, have they read? Have they understood? So what I can say is that as we wait for the court, because it's a matter that is still in court, and we may not comment so much for now, maybe people need to be educated, trained about it, and really get to know the pros and the cons. And I think it's not a do or die, because it can be, the areas that are not agreeable can as well be, revisited and amended. I think there are some areas that are very good in the BBI, but some people maybe may not have read them. But again, I think information is power. Let people know exactly what the BBI stands for.
Yes. I have seen that we've been doing a lot of that kind of a job, civic education, getting information out there. And civic education is actually one of the ways to make even our voters and everybody more informed than they were. Do you see technology playing a key role in civic education?
Oh, yeah.
Civic education? And how can we enhance that and use that as women, even to push for issues that are related to us as women leaders?
Thank you. And I agree with you that technology can play a big part. Technology is actually one of the biggest influencer as we talk, and people are using it a lot even to sell their agendas and everything. And therefore, we are also in the 21st century. We cannot avoid technology. You've seen in cases where we cannot have face-to-face meetings, life must go on, and therefore we must embrace technology. And therefore my advice, and I am also using the same because I'm using a lot of technology.
Yeah.
Facebook is technology.
Yeah.
The phone and the text, that is technology. So I'm urging everyone to embrace it and use it to their advantage.
Yeah.
It has its cons, like people would say that it is a negative influencer to children, but we start from the root. Let our children grow up, let us be good parents, good religious leaders, good leaders. We bring up our children well. If they are well, if they have values, it means that technology may not influence them negatively. But I agree that technology is good. Even women, as we talk, let's embrace technology. Let's embrace it the right way. And let's use it even to market ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay to do that.
Okay. It was nice having you on this platform to really look at the issues that we have looked at and discussed. And I hope that we are going to carry this conversation forward and maybe even have this conversation go on at the grassroots and even engage the people and get to hear from them as well. So your parting shot, please.
My parting shot is to all Kenyans, not only my people in Kiharu and Murang'a, that there is life beyond politics. Let us be each other's keeper. Let us embrace peace. Let us not go along the tribal lines. Let us just embrace peace. We play it peacefully. It doesn't matter my party of affiliation or yours, Catherine. At the end of the day, we are Kenyans and we are human beings. So I urge all Kenyans, let's maintain peace in everything.
Thank you.